We are both sponsored by the Throne. But just like any company, I work for a water district. That doesn't mean I get along with everybody at the water district. And those people that I don't get along with at the water district, they know about it. So I'm sure Josh Koscheck knows I don't get along with him either. And as far as the Brock Lesnar fight, people ask me, a lot if I'm disappointed about that fight, and I'm not. I found out some things that I need to work on personally, but the other thing is that I left every ounce and every piece of energy and every piece of my heart in that fight. I went in there to finish him, and I honestly tried to put him away with every ounce of energy I had until my body failed me. And I think when you do that in anything or anything that you're passionate about, this can vary over a bunch of different things. If you do all that your body or that yourself can ask for, it's hard to be disappointed. You just go back and try to rework some things.
So a follow-up to that, do you think it should have been stopped in that first round when you were laying the hammer down?
That was my next question, man. Come on.
But do you think it should have been stopped? And I personally thought it should have been stopped. But what was your perspective on that and the crowd's perspective at that time?
I know fans have everybody's had their opinions on this, and mine is, I would have a great argument if I felt Brock continued to get more injured through the fight, but the fact is he came back and he was able to beat me. So should the fight have been stopped? In my opinion, no.
Quickly, do you want to fight him again?
I would love for that rematch. In my ideal picture is I fight 1 or 2 times to get back to the championship fight, and hopefully I get to fight Kane. I would love that opportunity to fight Kane. I think makes for an interesting matchup. I beat Kane, and then that's when I would like to fight Brock for the championship again, just reversed.
Do you change your pacing at all in fights moving forward? Because, you like everybody knows, you should have finished them in the first there, and then it looked like you were a little tired. Do you change your strategy moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing that, some of the fans don't get to know. I was at a fight, I think it was probably a month later, and I got to talk to Herb Dean. Herb Dean happened to be my very first ref in my very first fight when I fought for the WEC, when it was still on a reservation at the time. It wasn't owned by Zuffa. Those fights tend to be a little bit crazy. I think there were some chairs thrown in the crowd by fans. But anyway, I was able to talk to him, and he told me he felt like instead of just continually punching somebody to get the ref to stop the fight, if I would have picked my punches a little bit better and would have hit him a few more times, then the fight would have stopped. So, I got some insight from a ref after the fact of the fight on what to work on, and I don't know if many of you saw Kane fight Brock, but it was almost a carbon copy with Kane picking his punches at the end.
I have a very specific question sent to somebody from Nova Scotia. He wants to know what your thoughts are in light of the Nam Van fight, and what do you think about the boxing style 10-point judging system? Do you think that they need to revamp it to an MMA style judging system?
This seems to be, it's a tough subject. I get questions on refs too, and what a horrible job. I would not want to be in there reffing a fight. And so, I always go out to those guys and the tough job that they have, and much less trying to judge these fights. I feel like there are some things that are unclear to these judges, but honestly on that subject, I feel like if you go out there and you put your effort in and you're actually trying to destroy the guy and understand that there's ring generalship and damage and controlling the fight and things like that, it's tough. I know there's some fights that the fans and I feel like should go the other way, and the judges see the other way. So I guess that's one reason I try never to go past the first round.
All right, can you tell us what your most prided UFC victory is? Which one do you think back on that just makes you smile?
The one that makes me smile is probably the one that kind of gave me a little bit of a name in the UFC, and that was against Gonzaga. I definitely went through some adversity. The guy hits like a truck. Honestly, in the fight, this is pretty funny. He hit me once, and I never even knew he hit me again. I was still waking up from the first shot, and he'd already hit me a couple more times, I think. So, but to be able to come back from adversity and to be able to come back and win a fight in that fashion, I think says a lot about who I am as a person and my fighting style and you know, that fighting in Columbus, Ohio, and the fans there, the noise level was outrageous. It's been the best place that I fought as far as a crowd.
Okay, and I just have a couple short personal questions. Favorite food?
Favorite food? It's probably going to have to be pizza. Or a good hamburger. I'm afraid I'm going to take this test today and it's going to say that I bleed grease.
All right, tell us what we can find in either your vehicle or your iPod in regards to music.
Oh, in regards to music, you'll find everything. I grew up listening to country, old-time country from my mom, always playing in the car all the time. I remember that, so I still have some country. I have rap, I have rock. You know, it depends on what type of mood I'm in. When we're in the gym, I listen to, you know, some heavy motivating stuff. But when I like to relax and I'm just driving down the road, you know, I don't mind a little bit of country.
What kind of car do you drive?
What kind of car do I drive? Well, unfortunately, I had the black Ford truck before Brock and Kane both got them, so I'm a little disappointed in Ford. I'm going to have to call them. This is an exciting fight. I said if Brock was able to beat Kane, Dos Santos has a much tougher fight against Brock than he does against Kane. I think he matches up against Kane size-wise, and actually I think he's definitely faster than Kane with his hands, even though I think Dos Santos' punches are a little wide, he's fast with them. And I think that's where Kane can get into trouble with him. And also, if you've ever watched Dos Santos getting taken down, he's like a cat, what we call a cat drill in wrestling. As soon as he hits the ground, he fires back up. You know, he's not wasting any time on the ground. So this is going to be an exciting heavyweight fight. Out of the two, who do I hope to fight? I hope to fight Kane because he beat Brock. But you know, the heavyweight picture hasn't been this exciting in the UFC for a long time. I bet you would whoop me in swimming. I jump in the water and I feel like a rock. But that seems to be one of the things that my coaches want me to do that I try to avoid. I'm not a very good swimmer. I do a doggy paddle real good.